Zing around, folks, guys. Technically, you can call this a recall, but I already knew what was going on here, guys. We had a brand new customer Wednesday that I went to. This customer has a Goodman downflow. I believe this is an 80% furnace. And guys, listen to this. She said that she recently got the unit serviced. I'm talking the heat serviced a few months ago. And I came out there and I seen the igniter glowing, but I couldn't get the gas valve to open. And guys, the gas valve had like a molex connection on it. It wasn't like a 2-wire hookup, because remember, this is a 2-stage furnace. It's a 2-stage Goodman downflow. So guys, what I did was I wiggled the connection on the gas valve and it worked. And I didn't just leave it that way. I put the doors back on. I turned it off and on like at least 5 or 6 times from the thermostat, and it worked. So I just told the customer we'll keep an eye out on it. But if the same thing happens again, we're going to have to put a new valve in at a minimum. But guys, at this point, it's Friday today. The customer called last night and said the same thing happened again. So guys, I got a new gas valve and a new board. I got to open everything up, and we got to close this one out, guys. Because one thing about me is recalls do happen. That's just like you driving a car. Eventually, you're going to have a flat tire. But guys, we got to keep these recalls to a minimum. So if I got to throw the kitchen sink at this furnace, so be it. But I got the new board too, just in case. I'm just going to put a new board and a new valve in. But guys, I'm here right now. We're going to go inside and we're going to get her taken care of here. Let's rock out. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Guys, they got the wash machine going, so excuse the sound. But one. Right now, this is a one hour lockout. The customer said that the igniter was glowing. I'm talking after I left. The igniter was glowing, but no ignition. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I did before to get this thing fired up. And for context, this is a Goodman. Looks like it's put in 2012 downflow 80% furnace. My igniter is glowing, and let me show you what was going on here before. See that? See how my igniter is glowing, no ignition? Now this thing is going to try to relight itself 3 times before locking out, but this is the connection that I had to wiggle. Now watch this. As soon as I wiggle that connection, I got to do this when the igniter is glowing. Watch this. And guys, remember, I already had 24 volts between common and my low and common and my high speed, so I knew that this gas valve was getting power. So right now, no blinks, because this thing is going to try to relight 3 times before it locks out. Now watch this. I'm just going to push this down. And watch this. See that? Guys, now at this point, I know at a minimum something's going on with the gas valve, but I'm gonna pop a new board in too, because I'm not taking no losses on this one, not again. But let me take this B vent up, with this B vent out here, and we gotta get to this panel. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Guys, I got my B vent flue pipe out, and for you guys that don't know, real quick, B vent is flue piping for 80% furnace and water heater applications, and B vent is double wall. So typically you'll use this B vent piping in applications in which clearance is an issue, because guys, you gotta have clearance. You gotta have a minimum clearance from regular flue piping if you're installing, let's say, vent piping in a tight area. Because guys, one thing you need to understand is vent piping itself gets very hot. But with the B vent having a double wall, you don't need as much clearance as you would with the single wall, because single wall gets hot. But this second layer acts as an insulator, so you can have something right next to this flue piping without it getting hot. So, and to remove this, if we needed to do this right now, guys, they have collars or screws. You see here, just 2 flathead screws there, but if we had to undo the rivets, get a flathead screwdriver, take your time, and lift that up, and it pops right out. So, moving along, I'm going to do the circuit board first and do the gas valve second. This gas valve is simple to pop in. I can turn my shut off now. Undo the union, unscrew the manifold, pop that out, and good to go. But guys, let me open up this door here so we can see the circuit board. I'll see you in a little bit. Guys, we got our panel off, and now this is our new board. And someone told me this a while ago. This customer doesn't have carpet, but anytime you guys are replacing boards and you're walking through carpet, make sure before you take the new board out the plastic, you want to ground yourself and touch a piece of metal before you touch this new board. Because now guys, I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't want to be the first guy to tell you otherwise. If you're going through carpet in the wintertime, replacing these circuit boards, your body could carry an electrical charge, and if you don't discharge yourself, if you're carrying static electricity and you touch this board, you could fry it without even knowing. So just make sure you touch a piece of metal if you guys are walking through carpets before you touch circuit boards. But alright guys, I need both of my hands. Let me get the circuit board done, put this back on, and then we're going to get this gas valve. But guys, look at this, right? I'm just looking at the connections here. This is what I was jiggling on the gas valve. And if you chase the wires, once again, this is a 2-stage furnace. I know this is my inducer motor, molex plug. My gas valve, this is a 2-stage. What do we have? Blue. White and brown. And I think the blue is common, white is high. But yeah, this is nothing but a molex plug here. And as expected, I knew nothing crazy was going to happen with the wires, because like I said guys, this thing was running, this customer said this thing was running fine even after they left for a service. And like I said, nothing looks dirty. But when in doubt with these gas valves, since it's a 2-stage furnace, I feel much better just popping a new board in too, just as some insurance. But guys, let me get to it. Let me pop this board in. I'll be right back. Guys, as you see, this is the old board. Still looks good, but I'm not taking any chances. I got the new board wired in. And to each his own, guys, but these little plastic clips, I always just use my dikes and cut the old one off. I believe I got lucky only once. This had to be like down there when I first started. I was able to get my needle nose and twist these off to try to save them. But guys, they give you new clamps with new plastic clips, so there's nothing wrong with just cutting these off. Easy peasy. So, but guys, real quick, let me pop this new board in. Let me mount it and get this door on so I can get started on this gas valve. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Alright guys, we got our new circuit board in, and now it's time to get our gas valve squared away. And as you see, this is a 2-stage with the molex plug. And what's funny is that on this gas valve, the little plastic piece is like very, very loose. I don't know why, but like I said guys, I know if you got to wiggle a connection on something in order for that part to turn on, then chances are, if the connections are okay. In this case guys, when I had that board out, I did look at all the wires. Everything looked okay, nothing looked burnt or adjusted. If the connection is okay, then chances are something in that gas valve is faulty. So I got another one. So now I'm going to unscrew the union, and we're going to get this new valve put in. All right, I'll see y'all in a little bit. right. So we got our gas valve out. And let me show you guys new versus old. So this is the new one. This is the old one here in my hand. And what I was saying earlier is that this thing was loose. You see this? No doubt about it. Maybe a circuit board. Maybe the circuit board in this thing fried, or I don't know, something's going on. But like I said, guys, if I had to wiggle the connection in order for this thing to work, then something's definitely going on. So, all right, guys, let's get to doping this new valve in, and I'll see y'all once I get it in. All right, guys. Got my new gas valve screwed into the manifold, and what I'm gonna do here, I believe I got this elbow pointed right out, but I'm gonna screw this into the manifold, put the 4 screws in, and I'm gonna dry fit the nipple coming out the furnace. I'm gonna screw that in, and I'm gonna see if I'm on point, because worst case, I may have to turn this elbow a little bit. All right, guys, let me get busy. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got half our new gas valve in, and it's only took me 2 tries. Guys, I had to take this manifold out again because initially I had my gas valve sticking out, and as soon as I put the manifold in, I'm like, crap, if my gas valve's sticking out too far, as I can show you, it's not gonna fit inside the door. But as you see here, I just offsetted my gas valve so everything can fit in the door. And as you see, this is the old connection and this is the new one. And I just gotta tie my union together, and I also gotta go outside and get my my soap bubbles. And yeah, that's all there is to it. All right, guys, let me put this together. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I got everything piped in, and remember, I still have to put on my flue pipe. But here's a pro tip, especially if you guys are doing installs. You want to do your gas as early as possible so you can leak check it for an extended amount of time. I would hate to do this at the end and rush, and now you have a leak. How I like to do my leak test, especially if I'm doing a gas valve, I like to have a little bit more to do after I do the gas line. So right now, I'm just going to hit all my joints and turn the gas on. And while I got the gas on and the soap bubbles on all the joints, by the time I finish my vent line, if I do have a very, very small leak, by that time I already have enough minutes under pressure so I can easily see what's leaking, versus you don't want that call back tomorrow stating that the customer smells gas. So rule of thumb, always give yourself a few minutes. You just don't want to spray and go. Even if you feel good about your joints, just give yourself another 10-15 minutes. Maybe if you're cleaning up, you can come back and spray it again. But like I said, guys, give yourself more time. It's only going to help you out and avoid recall. So, all right, guys, let me hit these joints, and I'm going to start working on my flue pipe. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, moment of truth. Everything is done. Everything is already leak checked. Pressure switch closed. The igniter is glowing. Nice. And I actually had this gas valve in the opposite way. I just had to flip that valve there And once again, we just offsetted our gas valve. Initially, it was straight. We just had to offset it so the door can fit inside there without hitting the connection on the gas valve. But yeah, guys, that's all there is to it. I'm going to test this a few times with the door on. But yeah, that's all there is to it, guys. And I got to get some wire nuts as well. But alright, guys. There you have it. New valve, well, new gas valve, new circuit board. And we're rocking and rolling here, guys. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.